What up, watch peeps? We had a little break from the state of the collection videos, but I thought we'd get back to that today. Now this segment might not be the most popular with the mechanical watch snobs, but these actually represent some of my most meaningful and actually favorite watches. So I am of course talking about Quartz. So let's see what I got. I'm Pete and we are chilling with watches. Wrist check, I am wearing the Black Bay 58 on the Uncle Seiko Jubilee. Still maybe the closest to a perfect watch for me that I have found, but let's talk about some of my less than perfect watches today. Now I also have some Seiko Solar Quartz watches, but I'm going to cover those in my Seiko State of the Collection video. So this will be the non-Seiko Quartz watches. We will start, of course, with my Woolbrook, or in this case, the Douglas Mecha Quartz Chrono. This one is actually a 39mm case, 40 at the bezel. And these Douglas, they are the professional ones. They come with an acrylic crystal. And in this case, you know, a Mecha Quartz chronograph movement. I know a lot of people don't like that 24-hour big eye. I don't really use my chronographs to time anything. So for me, that is purely an aesthetic. It looks good. And that is all I'm worried about. But fully brushed case, fully brushed beads of rice bracelet, super cool watch, just really comfortable to wear, has that kind of very, I don't know, is that like a 70s or 80s very busy dial chronograph look to it. All right, next up I have the Bulova Marine Star. Now this is from back in the day. I would say I was still a watch guy, but before I was, you know, full on mental about it, I just had maybe a few watches, and I had a couple Bulovas, and I think my wife actually bought me this one. This one is interesting because it looks like a combination of an Orient and a Seiko, and I guess maybe an Orient and a Seiko. It has this very Orient style bezel with the indents you see here. Has these Seiko style hands. Very cool quartz watch. It's super thin and only like 10.2 millimeters thick. I think that is part of what I really like about a lot of quartz watches is just how they wear. Screw down crown, really cool railroad track bracelet. It's just a simple press clasp, but you guys know I don't care about press clasps. I think they're just fine. They actually come on most of my more comfortable watches have press clasps. So I don't know, did I say this one's 40 millimeters at the bezel. Bulova Marine Star. Pretty cool dark blue color too. All right, next up. Now this is a brand probably no one else has ever heard of, Telstar. I bought this watch on a trip in Ireland. I don't even remember why, probably totally impulse. But it is a really cool titanium quartz chronograph. It's only a 37mm case. It's a little guy. But it wears like a dream. It's small and titanium, like straight through the whole bracelet. Press clasp again. Very cool bracelet with these brushed titanium center links. But it has that, you know, super fast, I don't know if those are hundredths or tenths of a second, I guess, running at the top for the first minute. I think this one does the quartz dance to reset. Yeah. But yeah, pretty cool watch. This one, again, nice, thin, kind of bead blasted. Has a really cool wave pattern on the dial. And I just love the color combos going on in this one. I also really enjoy the combination of kind of blasted and polished finish. I think that gives this thing a pretty cool look. Really nice case shape to it too. Has that ear that I'm not super fond of, but it's not super pronounced, and it kind of offsets this crown on the other side. All right, next up, one you guys have seen recently, this is my Divex Professional 200 that I bought broken and restored-ish. It runs great, it's waterproof and all that. The dial is obviously a hot mess, but I think part of it being all beat up and scratched up, like the bezel and the crystal, that is part of the charm of this watch for me. Now this thing, it's 40 millimeters at the bezel, but it's a 43mm case, maybe even a little over. But again, quartz, it comes in at only 10 millimeters thick, so it wears like a dream, and it kills on this Uncle Seiko GL831, but it has really cool bezel action. I've taken it all apart and cleaned it out, but it's a 66 click bezel that is really cool. I overshot it by one, but really nice action. Screw down crown, kind of Pro Master almost in this crown position and bezel, but I wear this thing actually a lot. It's a really kind of cool, fun, beat up old vintage watch. All right, next up, the Bulova tank. Now this one came from around the same era as when I had this, and I told you guys I had a couple Bulovas. It came on a really cool bracelet actually, but I always found it to be a little more casual on this. It's a just, you know, pretty standard quartz white dial tank shape, but again it has this completely curved crystal end case. This one is only, I think, 7.3 millimeters thick, so it wears not like a watch. It's almost just like wearing a bracelet. 27 by 37 millimeter case. Really comfortable, kind of cool. I guess this is really closest to my only dress watch that I own, but I do like this watch. I really enjoy it. I never wear it. All right, next up. This watch was actually my grandfather's, or my pop-pop as I call him, this Wenger Swiss military 40 millimeter. I remember him wearing this when we would be fishing and stuff. And you can see I left all his wabi on the case because it is some of the best wabi I've ever seen. He wore this watch. I actually replaced the crystal because you could almost not see through it anymore. It was completely messed up. Redid all the gaskets and all that stuff. And it runs like a charm and super cool watch. I do on occasion wear this, but I really should wear this more because I feel like if I had to have just one watch, I would probably wear something similar to this. But yeah, it's my pop's old Wenger. Dig this watch, pretty cool. Last but not least is the Msybe. Now this is an early 80s French watch in the Monin 844 case. And I'm going to put this out there that this might be the best dive watch case ever made. Obviously famously used in the vintage Hoyer watches that have the same kind of dial and handset. This one, it's a 40 millimeters at the bezel. The way these lugs kind of slope into the crown guards, it's hard to measure, but around here it's about 42 millimeters. And this one is running a Swiss Quartz ETA movement, seems to be running great. Bezel action's pretty good. I may or may not take that apart to see if I can't clean it up. Crown still screws down really solidly. I'm not sure if this bracelet is original or not, but it is pretty nice. I might see what other bracelet options I can have for it. But this thing is super cool. Like I said, just came in. I'm going to be wearing this a bunch. And oh, that is not actually the last. We can't forget the Love Pig. This is a SKX kind of quartz conversion. Brian from the Watch Complications YouTube channel makes 3D printed adapters to put the Ronda 515 in Seiko NH35 cases, and that is what I did here. Kind of just for fun, just to see if I could do it. This is a case you can find these on the AliExpress, sapphire, ceramic, the whole works, but kind of pretty fun little watch project I did there. And that will wrap it up. That is the sum total of my quartz watches. So there you go, the quartz subset of my watch collection. This Msybe just came in, so I'll be wearing that for a little while. I didn't realize until making this video that most of these watches are older, 20 plus years. Maybe I feel safer with vintage quartz than I do with vintage mechanical. Who knows, but I do wear these a surprising amount of time. All right, before I let you go, sneaker check, wear my Jordan 1 lows, and that's it, I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, please like, subscribe, and come back next time. Peace.